No special effects. What is this? I don't want it to retouch. Hide live video. I don't want to hide. Retouch, create. Highlight, green space, green screen, lighting. I don't want all of that. Welcome in, y'all. I had to restart my live. It's not showing my comments. Hit the like button. So y'all probably have to leave me a comment. Hit the like button. Welcome over. I had to restart my live. So this is the second one. If you're A1 day one, go ahead and hit the like button. If you're in the bushes and you want to just hear what I'm talking about, welcome. If you're coming over here to be nosy, you might as well check out unless you want to listen to the topic that I put in there. Otherwise, you're not getting no mess over here. Nope. So go ahead and hit the like button. I appreciate it to get my my live out there and get me out there in the algorithm. Again, I cannot see any comments. I am Classy Lady. I had to restart my live because it's not showing any comments for some reason. Yesterday morning it did, last night it did, and tonight it's not. So I can't see what you're saying. But I did want to give some helpful numbers to y'all in reference to my title. I'm coming to you as just a concerned, you could say parent, auntie, friend, godmother, and just experience, give you some stories on what I'm getting ready to talk about. Because like I said, I'm not a professional or anything, but I do have some insight, and I have spoken with people about the matters that I put up there. So one of the numbers is National Suicide Line. And I was surprised that you only called 3 numbers now, and that's 988. And that's national. It don't matter where you are. So it don't have to be a teenager. It could be a grown adult. Somebody you know that may be suffering with depression and just want to talk to somebody. These people are open 24/7 and they can talk to you. It don't mean that you're going to do anything, or you may want to do something to yourself, but you might just want to talk to somebody, and you can't talk to your family member. You don't know of, you don't have any friends. You don't have a minister, or you're not involved in the church or something, and you just want to talk to somebody. 988, you can call that number, or you can also text that number, 988. The second number I want to give you is a National Depression Line, but the suicide line you could talk about, you could still talk to them, but they did have a number. It's 800-273-8255. Hit the like button. I'm going to give y'all time to get your pen or your pencil, your crayon or your marker, so you can write the number down if you want to write it down. 800-273-8255. That's a national hotline for depression. So if it's not you, it may be a friend, it may be a coworker. You don't just necessarily have to tell them. You could just write it on a piece of paper and slide it on over there to them without even saying a word. Sometimes silence is golden. Again, I am Classy Lady, and I have 2 helpful numbers that I want to give in reference to my title, and then I'm going to go ahead and get started. I cannot see anybody comments, so I'm sorry about that. It's a YouTube thing. I started my YouTube over. So hit the like button. I see 9 people in here, 4 people didn't hit the like button. The first number is a National Suicide Hotline. That's for anybody. It's not necessarily a teenager. It could be an adult that's feeling want to do that. You text a 988, or you can call 988. And probably what it's going to do is go to a national board, and then they'll ask you what city and state you're in, and they'll probably direct you to somebody locally in your area. But if you to the point that you just want to do it, then by all means, you know to call 911. If you to that point that is nothing, you don't want to talk to nobody, and you want to be in a hospital or something like that, call 911, please, and let them know where you are. Don't just assume they know where you are. Give them your information so that they can come and, give you a ride to the hospital, and somebody can help you. Don't sit there and suffer in silence. It's help out there. And then the other numbers for depression is 800-273-8255. Give you time to get your pencil, pen, crayon, or marker. 800-273-8255. Those are the two numbers that I looked up that I wanted to give to y'all. And then I wanted to read something to y'all. Hopefully I can see it. And it goes, worrying about negative, and it's speaking about a teen, talking to your teen. Worrying about negative influence on our children is a leading stress producer for women or men. But it is such a relief to know there's something we can do about it. Yeah, there's something we can do about it. And then it just says about a study, and then I'm going to skip that. And it says that studies show that teens who eat with their families 5 or more times weekly are less likely to smoke, drink, and hang out with sexually attractive friends. That's something to think about. And y'all know in the old days, they used to sit down, the family used to sit down and eat dinner together. Even if there's not a father present, mom, you can still sit down and have dinner with your children. Make them put them cell phones up. Get a basket or something, and when y'all sit down to the dinner table, make them put it in the basket. You put yours in there too, and y'all sit there and engage in some kind of conversation. How was their day at school? Anything going on? That's the time you do your little table talk with your children and spend time with your children. In case you didn't know, that's just a little something. Parental engagement is a critical weapon in fighting against substance abuse. Just what I said, engaging with your children. That helps. I'd make everyone have family dinners if I could. And then they say their synopsis is the family that chews together stays glued together. Now that's a new one. I ain't never heard that one. A family that chews together, that means chewing your food, eating, stays glued together. That means when y'all eat together, you stand together as a family. You stand together as a family. And it just a little prayer to help you. It says, you love my kids even more than I do. God, you love my kids even more than I do. Please give me the wisdom and love I need to connect with them well. And I can't even see this little writing. And point to them to you. Yeah, that's what it says. May your love keep our family glued together. Amen. So that was just something to engage with your kids or something like that. But like I said, I'm not a counselor. I'm not a psychiatrist or psychologist or none of that. I'm just a regular person. But I've dealt with some instances and things of that nature. And that's why I gave y'all those two numbers. And sometimes, the kids get bullied or stuff, things of that nature. True story. 10-year-old girl. Can y'all hit the like button for me? I can't see your comments. So if you're new to my channel, thank you for visiting my channel. I am Classy Lady. Y'all probably wondering what's that on my head. It's a cross, just like what it looked like. Today is Ash Wednesday. It's the first day of Lent for 40 days and 40 nights. we give up something. And today was meat. On Fridays, for 40 days and 40 nights, we don't eat meat. You can eat all the seafood, you can eat all the vegetables or whatever, but you don't eat meat. And then you are supposed to also give something up. So, as hard as it's going to be, and I might be cranky, starting tomorrow, I will be giving up sodas. Yep, I'm giving up sodas for 40 days and 40 nights. And if I can give up sodas for 40 days, 40 nights, guess what? I don't think I'm going to start back drinking them. I'll be saving me some money. So I'm not going to try to think about it on a daily basis. I have one Diet Dr. Pepper left. I went to the grocery store today. I did not buy any soda. I wasn't tempted to buy any soda. So that's what I'm going to be doing. Fasting for 40 days and 40 nights with no sodas. So y'all hold me accountable to it. And when y'all come on and y'all can engage in my conversations, you can say, "Class lady, have you had a soda today?" Nope. I'm planning on drinking water and apple juice. That's going to be it. I won't have a soda. And I'm reluctant to go out to eat as far as fast foods or whatever because I don't just really do fast foods. I prefer to go to a restaurant either to sit down and eat or to get some food to go, but not Jack in the Box, McDonald's. I don't really do those. I did McDonald's today because I needed to get a fish sandwich before church and something to eat. So that was it. So I had that, and I've been eating fruits, and that is it. But anyway, so I have a couple of stories dealing with teen depression, teen love, and teen wanting to commit suicide or commit suicide. One little girl, and I guess she got bullied at school, and she suffered, she was suffering with depression. This little girl was only 10 years old, being bullied and suffered with depression. I don't know. I can't tell you if the mom really engaged with her or really just got down to the root of the problem. Sometimes the parents can go to the school and report it to the school. And sometimes it may be a kid in the neighborhood. Your children be friends with somebody. Then they stop being friends because of a girl liking a certain boy, and a friend get jealous, and that usually be the biggest thing. They be best friends, but then when it happened on a certain boy, and one like him and the other one like him, and then he goes with one of the friends, the other one get mad, and then it starts a fight. They be fighting so much till it's crazy. The little girl, go back to the little girl. The little girl was 10 years old. And the mom got home. And the little girl had unalived herself. The 10-year-old. Welcome everybody coming in. I can't see your comments. Do y'all know how she unalived herself? Do y'all want to know how she unalived herself? I'm assuming you're saying yes. The little girl unalived herself with the belt around her neck. And y'all know how you have in the older houses, you have the oven up, the stove up here and the stove down there. She tied the belt to that part. And unalived herself. 10 years old. What kind of problems do a 10-year-old have to want to unalive themselves? I know that these days the kids are bullying them in school, and that's why you need to talk to your kids, and that's why I read this passage from this book. If you missed it, go back and listen to what I said, and basically just to break it down, that parents need to start or engage in having dinners with their children. Sit down and have dinners with their kids. If you're not doing it, you might want to start. And my advice, this is my personal advice, when you sit down to the dinner table, make them come down and sit down and eat dinner together. Get a basket or a bag, or put it on the counter. Make everybody put their cell phones up. Even you. Y'all you can put the cell phone down for at least 30 minutes to an hour. Have engaging conversation with your kids about what's going on, what happened in school today, what they doing, or whatever. That's all it takes. When you go out to restaurants, everybody on their phone. I don't like to go out to eat with nobody and you can't put your phone down. Because I'll tell you, you said you wanted us to meet out for lunch or dinner or whatever. You're going to need to put that phone down. Because I didn't come out to sit and you on your phone and I'm on my phone and we not communicating with each other. I don't like that. I don't like that at all. And sometimes I hate cell phones even came out. They're good. Don't get me wrong. But it's too much when you going out to eat, and you go out to eat even with your kids. They doing this. And you might be doing this. But at that time when y'all out to eat and y'all sitting down and eating dinner, everybody need to put their phone down. Eat dinner and engage in family conversation. That's what's wrong with the world now. You don't know what the right hand don't know what the left hand doing. That's the time you need to know what your children doing, because it's critical out here and it's bad. The other story about, like I said, about the best friends fighting. Neighbors. They was best friends. One neighbor was taking them to school, the two girls, and they was one would go over. I could sit outside in the garage and watch one of them go to the other one house, and then packing something from that house, and she going over there, whatever. All heck broke loose, and it was over a boy. When I tell you them girls was out there brawling like they was two dudes out there fighting, young girls, fighting over a boy. And probably boy wasn't with either one of them. Fighting over a boy. When I say they fought from one girl house to the other girl house. But you know what the bad part about it? One of the girls, I guess they had got into it at school. And one of the girls, mama, well, she ain't really raised her. But anyway, she gonna make the girl fight the other girl. Gonna tell her to come over here, go over there, and you better fight and you better win. The mama was involved in it. Now you know that don't make no sense. You gonna take your daughter to fight somebody. What if that girl had a weapon or something? A pair of scissors, a screwdriver, anything, and could have stabbed that young lady. But when I tell you they fought from one house to the other in the street, big old brawl. Them two fighting like some dudes, some older men. And they were best friends. They used to ride to school together. But the grandma, the young lady and her mom, they were staying with the grandmother. And grandmother don't play. When she found that out, she had a hissy fit. Because just like one of the content creators that brought her kids, saying that the kids came to their house to fight, they were not fighting in front of their house. They went somewhere else to fight. Not in front of their house, because she knew if they fought in front of her house, them neighbors was going to call the police because her kids was out there fighting. And she was out there kind of caught herself watching, but had her hand on her purse, indicating she had a weapon in her purse, allegedly. And she didn't pull it out, but she had her hand on it. And if it would have got out of hand, That's what happened. And then another lady was out there, and she had enough nerves to have a stick. Oh, broad, out there with a stick. So I guess if they would have, she was gonna start swinging. So they was fighting. To me, either one of them won the fight because both of them got some good licks and dumped each other on the ground and all of that. But it was wrong of the mother. She said they came to her house. No, they was passing in front of your house. That's the first story you see. They kept passing back and forth in front of your house. And so you said they came to your house to fight. If they came to your house to fight, why you didn't call the police? No, y'all went around the corner in this area. It didn't have no houses where they was fighting at, no driveways, no nothing. So you could tell that was not nobody's house. It may have been in front of a pond, like in a subdivision or a playground or whatever, but they was tearing down. They were tearing down. And the mother kept her hand on her purse that she had a weapon. So if anything would have been left, I guess she would have shot them young people. I guess that's what she would have did. She would unalive. If she would have shot, would have unalive, because it wasn't just her son. It was some other. The boy had some friends or whoever drove him there. Then she had her kids there. One of them must have been filming allegedly, because who would know that they was fighting. And it was a row of cars. So that wasn't in front of your house, because all them cars is not parked in front of your house, because that whole area, there were no driveways. So it's not possible for a house to be there. But anyway, you brought your son to a fight. And parents, y'all need not do that. That's dangerous. That's dangerous. That's dangerous. You hear that on the internet, that the parent bring, and then they have something, and then the other parent end up showing up, and then just pum you, and you ain't even got a chance to pull your weapon out. That's bad. But that was like I said, that them two best friends was tearing each other up. And the one that they was fighting in the neighborhood, it was over a girl. It was over a girl. Teen relationship, teen love. So, you have to be careful, and parents, don't be getting involved in that. Try to talk to your children about that, because it's too many kids go to school and then they get into a fight with somebody, an altercation, and they are unalive. And then you be wishing, you're angry at the kid, yeah, but both of them was involved in it. Just recently here, boy unalive one, and you know what it was over? Some vape pens. Now they in high school. How are y'all able to buy tobacco or them vape pens, and you 16, 17, maybe 18, and the only way you 19 is because you flunked a class or two, and the year started off late. So there's no reason why y'all should have been fighting over some vape pens, especially at school. And one guy unalived the other one, stabbed him with some scissors in the neck. He was gone. So now mom and daddy, or whoever, grandma, auntie, uncle, everybody mad. You mad at the other kid, but if you tried to shortchange him on some vape pens, maybe that was his last he had. I don't know. But it's in the heat of the moment, they don't make rash decisions. It's a vape pen. Tell your parent. Report it to the police, because you can't report it because you ain't had no business with that pen anyway. Y'all were underage with that, or some vape pens. Because the first thing police gonna want to know is where you got it from. How did you get it? So then you have to start snitching, or you ain't gonna tell. So parents, talk to your kids about stuff like that. The other thing, another teen, like I say, this is stuff I know for sure. And like some of the other stuff, the fight, like I said, allegedly the mom had a weapon or whatever. It wasn't showed or anything, but she's known to carry weapons, and she has pulled it out doing a skit. She has pulled it out, and she has shown it multiple times. The other thing was Um, one time I did talk to somebody. It's a young guy, and he had called in, and he was upset. He was real. The guy, he was really upset, and he said, "I need some help. I need to talk to somebody about something." So my motherly instinct kicks in, and then also I say, "Lord, help me, help me. This must be one of them calls. This must be one of them calls, Lord. Please, write on my tongue, help me." And I say, "Well, what you want to talk about?" And he was like, "Man, he was like, man." I say, "Okay, you call and you want some help. What is it that what you want?" And he said, "I was in this relationship, right?" I said, "Okay, so you want to talk about a relationship?" I said, "First of all, how old are you?" He told me, he said he was 17. And I asked him, "Okay, relationship, in love." He said, "I'm in love with this girl, and I just don't know what to do." I say, "Well, where are you?" Uh, "I'm walking down the street." I say, "Well, where are you going?" "Man, I don't know." This is the way he talking to me. "Man, I don't know." And he was crying and snotting and crying. I say, "Baby, calm down. Calm down." I say, "You asked to talk to somebody." I say, I'm here. I'm gonna talk to you. Tell me exactly what happened." And he told me him and this girl had been dating or whatever, and apparently maybe she got somebody else or whatever, and he found out, and they broke up, and he was so heartbroken. He was so heartbroken till he just took out walking. I asked him where he was going. He said, "Ma'am, I don't even know." I said, "Where you coming from?" He said, "I just got out the car with her." I say, "Are you okay?" I was just talking to him. And I say, "Well, do you live close around where y'all at?" And he said, "Well, yeah, I live in the area." I say, "Well, do you think you can get somebody to pick you up? Or are you close enough where you can walk home?" And he say, "Yeah, I'm close enough where I can walk home." I say, oh, he was crying. Oh, he was crying. I was like, "Baby, I say, it's gonna be all right. She's not the only girl in the world. There are other girls out here. She's not the only one. I'm pretty sure you can get another girlfriend or whatever." So uh, I said, "You want me to talk to you till you get home? I want to make sure you get home safely." He said, "You can do that?" I say, "I'll do it for you." I say, "But you need to calm down. That's what I need you to do. I need you to calm down, take some deep breaths, and get yourself together." And I asked him, did he plan on harming himself or whatever? And he was like, "Man, I don't know what I'm gonna do. I don't know." I say, "Well, no, wait a minute now. Wait now. Wait. That's not the right thing to do. That's not what I want to hear. Don't tell me you thinking about it or you might. No, I don't want to hear that. I need you to tell me you're not gonna do anything to yourself. It's not worth it. Tomorrow will be another day." Um, I say, and I know it hurts. I've been in relationships where I've broken up with a boyfriend. I said, I done boo-hooed and woe is me and boo-hooed and snot tears or whatever. I say it happens. I say, you're not the first person. You're not the last person it's going to happen to. But being that we talking about you and you got the courage enough to call me, I'm going to talk to you. And I just want to make sure you get home safely and get out these streets. The streets are dangerous. So he didn't live far. So I ended up talking to him for about 30 minutes. And he finally calmed down. And he stopped crying. And like I say, this is a 17-year-old boy. First girlfriend, probably the first person he had sex with. And his heart was broken. Y'all talk about women with soul ties. Men have soul ties too, because there's a lot of men, if I can't have you, can't nobody else have you. That kind of stuff happens. So that's why I say, you know, talk to your teens and put them phones down. All that locking the bedrooms and always in the room, and you got to knock before you should be able to bust that door open whenever you want to go in there. Bust the door open. I know a lady that was married to a man, and the girl was the stepchild. And when she got fly at the mouth or whatever, you know what that man did? He took the hinges off the door. Now you don't have no door. Now, we can walk in here anytime we want. He took the hinges off the door and took the door down. So, therefore, when she needed to get dressed or change her clothes, she had to go in the bathroom. She didn't have that privacy in her room because he took the door down. He said, you too fly at the mouth. You want to stay stuck in the room all the time. We don't know what's going on. You don't want to talk to us or whatever. So I got a remedy for that. And he took the whole door. Sure did. How I know? Because I was dating her dad at the time. And that's what she was telling her dad. He took the door off the hinges, and he took the door and put it up. And the daddy trying to say, what? What did he do? And I'm telling him, she got a mama over there. I told him, I said, she got a mama over there. You let her mama deal with that, because that's her mama and her mama's husband. And that's that man's house or their house. You ain't got nothing to do with that over there. You go over there, that man got the right to bear arms and light your ass up. So you better talk to her and talk some positive stuff to her and ask her, why did he take the door off? What happened? What went on? Because there's two sides to every story. And then it's the truth. So it may have been a little bit on her part and a little bit on his part, and it just didn't go together. And they need to sit down and talk about it. Because evidently she had been cutting up and grades and all this kind of stuff, being fast. And that man said, okay, be fast all you want to. Dough coming off. Coming out. These kids stay too locked up in their room. And what happened when they do stuff, these other little kids start making bombs in their room. They ordering weapons. You don't even know they ordering weapons. You don't know what's coming through Amazon. Now it's a go forth. Cause I ordered some stuff. It's a go forth. You got Amazon. You got UPS, the post office, FedEx. You got about 7 or 8 courier services delivering stuff constantly. You don't know if them children ordering weapons and stuff, because you don't. Yeah, they just ordered something from FedEx. They just ordered something from Amazon or whatever. When they make them orders, you need to know what they ordering. You need to say, let me see. If they say, Mama, I ordered some tennis shoes, let me see what the tennis shoes look like. I done had a couple of packages come here, and I opened them by mistake because I had stuff coming to me. And I was nice enough to look on the address and in the neighborhood, Google, and take it to them. One of them was some tennis shoes. I looked in the box, I said, oh, dog, I ain't ordered these. So when I looked on the address, the street, they delivered it to the wrong street. The same numbers, but the wrong street. So I packaged them back up, took it to them, and told them, look, they delivered this to my house. I thought this was my package. I'm bringing it to you because I'm pretty sure they done said they done delivered it. You haven't gotten it. But you don't know what these children ordering. I mean, FedEx, what's them people? Amazon, all day long. FedEx, UPS, Amazon, these other in the neighborhood. You can't drive in their own neighborhood from them just packages. So y'all need to know what's in them children packages. You don't know what them children ordering. They might be ordering sex toys, all kind of stuff. And you don't even know. You have no idea what they ordering. So you need to sit down and talk with your kids. But I'm gonna get these numbers out one more time. So get your pencils and your crayons or your whatever. Um, while you're doing that, hit the like button because I know some of y'all watching in the bushes somewhere. Hit the like button, subscribe to my channel, and just check out my commentary. I try to be I am bringing a lot of positive stuff, a lot of informational stuff to my channel. I can't not see any comments, so therefore I can't respond to any of your comments or whatever. I don't know what's going on with YouTube. I restarted it, and I don't know. I don't know. So anyway, this is a national suicide helpline, and the numbers have gotten shorter over the years. And if you're suffering with, somebody that's thinking about it, or you thinking about it, or your child, and your child is suffering with depression, or they moody or whatever, the number is 988, 3 digits, 988. That's a national number, and it'll go to a national board, and they'll probably ask you what city or state you're needing help in. And then you just tell them, and then they'll direct you to maybe a 1-800 number in your area, and then you call those people and you talk to those people. Or they may talk to you at the national level. I don't know. Or it may just everybody talk to everybody. Or you can text 988. You can call 988 or you can text 988. The other number is a national number for depression. And it's a national number, 800-273-8255. Again, 800-273-8255. Those are 2 helpful numbers that you might wanna write down. It could be a coworker, it could be somebody. Somebody may have mentioned it to you. And if they don't want to talk about it, you ask them if they want to talk about it. If they don't want to talk about it, then just write the number down and slide it to them on a piece of paper. Or you don't even have to say nothing. Just write the number down, fold the paper up, hand it to them, and tell them you love them. And let them deal with it. Let them, and then you can check back up on them. But pretty much that's what needs to happen. So the other thing that I wanted to talk about was like a love story. So I get this call today from a relative. I'm always, with teens and when they growing up and, godchildren and all of that, I always tell them that I love you. They like to say love you. I'll say love you sometime, but I'll say, I love you. And, when we see each other, acknowledge people, with a hug and stuff like that, especially if it's family or friends, you always hug each other and stuff. Or when you get ready to leave, depending on the situation, I always say, I love you. And they might say, I love you too. So today, I'm in the grocery store, minding my business, spending up my money. My cell phone ring, but it's the ring that you get through Messenger. And it's just dee-dee-dee-dee-dee-dee, dee-dee-dee-dee-dee-dee. I say, now, who calling me through Messenger? Because I know how it ring. I say, probably some old school ninja that I used to fool with, old Negro, then see me got my Facebook or whatever, and don't have my new number and calling me on Messenger. Because I did have one call me the other day, talking about long time no see, and then gonna text me. I don't even want to talk to you because you're a liar. You said you was gonna help cut my yard and stuff. You cut it one time, and you were supposed to be you say you're gonna be my yard man. You ain't never come back. So it doesn't pay for you to talk about, hey, you, where you been. No, you want to call when you done broke up with whatever woman you done been with. I don't want to talk to you. Don't call me. I ain't acknowledged him yet. I ain't texted him back. I ain't called him. It's just like he ain't even said nothing to me. And I ain't gonna do it. I'm not, no, no. So anyway, I get the little dee. So that's what I assumed it was, but it wasn't. It was somebody in the family. A young teenager crying. I could hear him. How you doing? I say, I'm doing all right. You busy? I say, I'm in the grocery store. But I can hear him crying, sniffing, crying hard, but enough to talk to me. Well, I'll call you back later. No, you ain't call me back later. What's going on? I say, I can talk. I can talk right now. And I'm still doing my grocery shop. I'm getting everything I want. That phone call stopped me in my tracks. Because when a teen reach out to you and say they need to talk and they crying, whatever you doing, you need to stop in your tracks and acknowledge them and see what it is that they want. That's why I say I'm not a psychiatrist, a psychologist, I'm a counselor, or none of that. I'm telling you from personal experiences that I've dealt with teens, and of that nature I've encountered, or they've talked to me about it. This is stories I'm telling you that I know for a fact. Now, when I said allegedly earlier, that was because that was alleged about that. But what I'm telling you is facts. And so when I got that call, it startled me. Because first of all, when I pulled my phone out of my purse, the name, I always program people's name in my phone. And if I have a picture of them, I'll put their picture up there. And when I saw the name and I saw the face, I'm like, they probably didn't mean to call me or whatever. But I answered, hello. And like I say, how you doing? I say, I'm doing okay. They crying and sniffling, trying to hold it in. I said, they said, you busy? I say, well, I'm in the grocery store. Well, I'll call you back. No, we're going to talk now. What's on your mind? And he just, and it was a male. He just a crying. He's sniffing and trying to hold it back. And I say, baby, what's the matter? I say, are you okay? Not really. And I say, you in danger? No, I'm not in danger. Okay. Calm down. Tell me what's going on. So I just held the phone and kept doing what I was doing. And he didn't want to tell me. So I say, I told you we could talk about anything. And this young man is bright. This man likes to talk about politics. I'm trying to encourage him to go into law. Because when I tell you he can hold a conversation with about the president and things going on and political issues, he can hold those conversations. This 17-year-old. But he was doing that at 15 and 16. And I find myself engaging, talking with this young man like he's an adult. But he's steady saying and respecting me always, yes, ma'am, yes, ma'am, yes, ma'am. Very respectful. Not going to disrespect me or anything. It's always yes, ma'am. So I finally got it out of him. And he say, I experienced my first breakup. I was in love. And he burst out crying. And I say, baby, it's going to be okay. It's going to be okay. I say, calm down, calm down. And I say, okay. Because these days, you don't know which way they go. And I say, a love relationship, right? He said, yes, ma'am. I say, well, was it a girl or a boy? He said it was a girl. He said he just was crying. This is the first time I've ever been in love or that I felt love like that. I said, oh. I say, but it's not the end of the world, baby. I know you're heartbroken, but you can be in your broken heart. It's going to be okay. And I say, well, how old is this young lady? And he said she was 19. And I said, well, how did y'all get it? He said, we've been dating for over a year. And what the worst thing that broke me down, I almost started crying. He said she broke up with me on Valentine's Day. And I spent my money and bought her all kind of nice gifts. And she broke up with me on Valentine's Day. Lord, I want to just lay down in that store and just start crying. When it's a relative, it hit different. I said, whew. I say, baby, I don't care. I know it hurt. I say, it's going to get better. I say, one day at a time. I say, you're not thinking of nothing crazy about harming yourself or anything. He said, no. He said, but my heart is broken. I say, do you think you're the only one experienced a broken heart? I say, my heart done been broken. I done snotted, cried, and oh, woe is me, and we lose appetites. We don't want to do nothing. We just want to wallow in the dirt. I say, but one thing you can't do is wallow in the mud. And what I mean by that is just sit there and just get dirty, just, all that crying. I say, get you a good cry and cry out. And I say, you're going to have to stop. You're going to have to toughen up. I said, and the reason why your heart is so broken, I didn't ask him if he had sex. I already knew he had sex. So I wasn't going to put him on the spot and say, well, did y'all have sex? I already knew he had sex because you ain't going to be crying like that. And that might have been his first piece. But I didn't ask him, was that his first? I ain't want to know that. I told him, that happens. You get more emotional when you have had a sexual encounter with that person. And I say it hits different. I say if you just had, just other girlfriends as far as friends that y'all hang out and go to the movies, out to eat, all a group of y'all go somewhere and stuff like that. I say that's different. I say, but when you start having sex with the opposite party, it hits different. Your heart gets more involved. I say, yeah, some people can do a such thing like they call hit it and quit it. But they not looking for a relationship. All they want to do is have multiple sex partners and things of that nature. But I didn't get to that part with him. I'm like, ugh. So he steady crying. I'm like, baby, you're going to have to stop. It's going to get better. I say, well, tell me a little. I say, okay. This woman broke your heart. I say, first of all, she's older than you. And I said, he said, but I helped her. When I met her, she was in a dark space in her life. And I talked her out of it and I helped her or whatever. I said, she was in a dark space and you talked her out of it. You ain't together yourself. Before I noticed, I said, you ain't together yourself. I said, baby, we have to get ourselves together first. We have to get right. Our heart, be secure in ourselves before we could talk about helping somebody else. And I say, he said, well, we had a connection, and yeah, you probably did. And y'all probably could talk about all kind of stuff or whatever. But when y'all had that sex, I say that was a whole totally different thing. I say, you may have been her first and you may not have been her first. So then he goes to tell me, I say, why did y'all break up? He said that she met somebody, uh, and he's an older man, and he said he's 30. I say he 30, and she 19. I say, baby, let me tell you something. Do not go backwards. I say that girl, now her nose is wide open because she's dealing with a 30-year-old. He may have a decent job, and he could take her out or, buy her a chicken wing dinner or something like that. You don't know the ins and outs. And then he said that she told him she had already had sex with the man or whatever. That just crushing his heart more and more and more and more and more. And he just a crying. I said, baby, you got to stop crying. It's going to get better. I say, trust me. You're not the only one that done been through this. I say, your mama done been through it. Your daddy done been through it. Your grandparents done been through it. Your aunties, your uncles been through it. Your cousins, everybody. I say, you know what you're experiencing now? I say, you experiencing life. I say, now you experiencing life. I say, and at this point, you graduating in a couple of months. That's where your focus need to be. No girl, no nothing. Graduation. Graduation first, college second. I say, now what's going on with your college application? Well, where I wanted to go, they denied my application. Okay, so what are you doing now? I say you need to get back into it. That's what your focus need to be, is graduation. When you graduate, you need to decide what college you're going to, whether you're going here or you want to go out of state. And really, I want to tell you need to go here because you ain't that responsible to go nowhere out of state. You might need to go to one of these local universities or even start at a community college. One of them, but you're going to have to do something. Because you're 17, this year you're going to be 18. When you start turning 18, some of these parents, the way they are, some of them don't want, after 18, when you turn 18, you either going to college or you're going to the service, but you're getting out of my house. And some parents don't ever want their kids to leave. That's a good thing. And it's a bad thing. You can kind of spoil them or whatever. I left at 22. But when I left, I had a full-time job by this time with benefits. I still wasn't totally detached. Well, let me finish the story about the baby. So I just started encouraging, because when he called, that's what he said. He said, I'm calling you because I need some encouragement. And I was like, dog, I've been talking about encouraging people. And I said, oh, I'm that person. So I started encouraging him. I say, look, me and you have conversations. And I say, me and you could talk about politics. We talk about cooking. We talk about life. I say, and you hold a good conversation like you're a grown person. I say, so you're intelligent. You have common sense. And you have book sense. You know how to do your work and you know how to do things. I say, but you just got to pep up your step. And I say, don't go backwards. I say, because what's going to happen, that 30-year-old is going to break her heart. And when he break her heart, she going to try to come running back to you. I say, now, you have a choice at that point. You could reject her and tell her you don't want to have no more dealings with her, or you gonna take her back. I say, but remember, if you take her back, who's to say she gonna stay? And I say, you know how you feeling right now? I say, you heartbroken. I say, do you want to go through that twice? No, ma'am. I say, so that's why I tell you, don't go back. Don't let her come back into your life. She dumped you on Valentine's Day, the sweetest day. And I said, you done spent your money and you wanted to spend time with her, and she didn't have time for you. And then she told you that she didn't have relations with this 30-year-old. So once she didn't have a relationship with that 30-year-old, what you think you gonna do? That's a man that he's experienced with all kind of stuff. I want to say he getting ready to turn her out. But I didn't go there with him because I didn't want to crush his heart because he already said his heart was hurting. So I just, just encouraged him about school, college. That's your focus. That's your focus right now. You don't need to worry about nothing else. I say love will come. I say you might even meet somebody at school, in college. There are a lot of people that meet their soulmates in college and they get married. They go to school, they get the education, and then they, may get married. I say, but you need to get your education. I say because, kind of your situation is not a normal situation as far as family is concerned. So you're going to have to get it. You're going to have to get it. And I said, I know your heart is hurting, but what I don't want you to do is try to harm yourself. I said, I've always told you, you can call me at any time. And I mean that now. I don't care what time of the day, what time of night it is. If you feeling depressed, you feeling sad or heartbroken, call me. I say, call me. It don't matter. I will talk to you. I said, now, I'll let you know if something is going on, if I can't talk to you right then. But when he called me in that grocery store, guess what? I was still doing my groceries, but I took time out to talk to that young man because he was hurting. He was hurting. And he said he hadn't talked to anybody else about the situation. And I said, I'm glad that you thought enough of me to pick up the phone and call me. That just made my heart feel so good. Because if I could reach one person, I've done something. And I know over the years, and with my work experience and work in different places, I've touched people. I don't want to be evil, ugly, because I can do that. I can do all of that. But that's not what I'm about. I want to encourage people, stir them towards God, because that's what I was taught. And that's why I go to church, to listen to the word, and things could be explained to me. Things could be explained to me. And like I said, this is a cross, this is ashes. And the ashes are made out of palm trees. And there's a Sunday before Easter, and it's called Palm Sunday, where they hand out the palms. You don't throw them away. You don't do all of that. You can simply make a cross out of the palms, or you just, some people put them around their house and things of that nature. I had some previous in the house, so what I did the last year when I got palms, I stuck them under the mat in my car. And I rolled with them. I never vacuumed them out. I made sure they stayed under the mat, and I asked God to protect me and for my protection. And then this year, when they asked for the palms so that they can burn them and make the ashes, I went under my mat and gave them those palms, and then that's what I got. I got my cross. So Palm Sunday is before Easter, and they hand out the palms, and you keep them for the next year. Or you may not want to turn yours in. You don't have to, but they was asking for palms. So anyway, so that's what this is. Today is Ash Wednesday, and for the Catholic faith, we start fasting 40 days and 40 nights. So starting today, we don't eat meat on Ash Wednesday. Fat Tuesday with Mardi Gras, that was the last day. Today is Ash Wednesday. We don't eat meat. We eat seafood, fish, whatever, but no meat. Every Friday, you sacrifice and you give up meat for 40 days and 40 nights. That's the Catholic thing as a whole. But you're supposed to deny your flesh of something, whether it's soda, coffee, maybe some people put their cell phones down, don't do social media, sweets, sex, uh, just different gambling, uh, smoking. So I decided this year I'm gonna give up sodas, and I got one soda left. I'm gonna drink that soda tonight. But I went to the grocery store today. I did a grocery haul. I uploaded it. I went to the grocery store today, and I was proud of myself. I didn't buy not one soda. So it will be apple juice for me and water. That's what I'll be drinking. And after the 40 days, so it's going to be a day-to-day challenge for me. After the 40 days, I hope to just not even go back to sodas. Just let them go. Because I know I'll lose a few pounds letting the soda go, letting that fluid get out of my system and everything. So that's a good thing. So that's why I decided to let the sodas go. So I'm going to be doing that for 40 days and 40 nights. So if I come on here feeling a little cranky or whatever, class lady, you ain't have no soda today, huh? No. So I'm going to hold y'all to hold me accountable for each day. But I know I can do it because I'm not going to put on clothes to go to the corner store to get a Diet Dr. Pepper or go to Family Dollar. I'm just not going to do it. That ain't me. I don't run to the store all the time. So I'm getting ready to close. But the thing about teenager, I talked to teenager, and teenager calmed down, and I then made him laugh. I told him, some stories, some love stories about me and things that happened to me. And he was like, they did that? I was like, mm-hmm. I said, uh-huh. Yeah. So by stuff happened to me, do you think I say I'm not going to ever love again or I'm not going to ever trust? I say, don't say that. Because he's saying he don't feel he going to ever trust a relationship. I say, don't say that, because every relationship is not the same. I say, but right now, you just need to have little friends where you hang out, y'all talk on the phone, you yep. Y'all may go to the movies, all of y'all may go out to eat or go to Top Golf or something like that. And y'all just hang out. Just have some hangout buddies. I say, because when you start with that sexual relationship, that's where that heart gets involved in it. I say, so, right now, college, graduation, college. I stressed that to him. I told him, you can call me at any time. I love you. And I mean that. So that conversation went on or whatever. And on my way to church, the Lord laid it on my heart. Maybe he need a hug. So I left early. But when I tried to call him back on the messenger, he didn't answer. And I went to their house and I knocked on the door and I rang the doorbell and I didn't get an answer. Because all I wanted to do was give teenager a hug. I wanted to hug teenager so tight and say, I love you and thank you for trusting me to talk to me about your situation. Thank you. Because it did me some good. And hopefully it did him some good. And I asked him, did he feel better earlier? And he said, yeah, he felt much better. But I wanted to check on him. So that's why I went by their house and I wanted to hug him. But he didn't answer or nothing. So when I went to get me a fish sandwich at McDonald's, he called. And I said, I said, where are you? And he told me where it was. I said, well, I came by there because the parents and stuff hadn't gotten home yet because their cars wasn't there. So I said, I came by there. I said, I knocked on the door. I said, I called you on your messenger. I said, I called you a bunch of times. I said, I knocked on the door. And I said, you didn't answer. I said, are you okay? He said, yes, ma'am, I'm okay. He said, I don't know what I was doing. He said, but I did look on the computer and saw you called. That's why I called you back. I say, but, I want to make sure that you were okay. You were having a good day. And the rest of your day went good. He said, yes, ma'am. He said, I'm still hurting. I said, you gonna hurt. I say, but you cut that crying out. I say, you gonna hurt. I say, it's not gonna be easy. And today you're not gonna get over it. Since it happened on Valentine's Day, it's just a couple of days. It's gonna take time. But Don't go back. If she call you because that man broke her heart, leave that girl alone. Find you somebody else. And yeah, that's all I want to do with teenager. I just wanted to give teenager a hug. So I'm gonna give y'all time to get your pencil, pens, and crayons together. I'm gonna give these numbers to y'all again for help. It may be a teenager, it may be an adult, but that's what I want the story. I want to tell y'all about that teenage love and talk to your children, because you never know what they're feeling or whatever. And he said that he hadn't told a parent about it. I was the first person he told. I said, well, I'm going to use your story, but I won't use your name. But I do want to tell your story. And he said, well, that's fine. But this is a national suicide helpline number, and it's only 3 digits. It's 988. 988. And you can call that number or you can text that number. 988. 988. The other number I looked up, it may still be good. You could call either number, but it's for depression. It's 800-273-8255. 800-273-8255. Those are 2 helpful numbers. Like I said, I am not a psychiatrist, psychologist. I don't have any experience in counseling. The stories I told you are true stories. They're not fabricated. The names are not said. But those are true stories that I help intervene in and to help teenagers from not committing suicide because of a broken heart. And most of it is because over a girl or a boy. But the 10-year-old that I told y'all at the beginning, her mom found her. So it was, I don't know what the situation was with her mom or whatever, but her mom found her hanging from the stove, from the top part of the stove, and she had hung herself. That's something to walk in your house and see that your child there lifeless. I'd have to sell my house immediately. I'd be moving out. I probably would have to send some movers in there to pack my stuff up and move out. House for sale instantly. Yeah. Some people can't be saved. Some people don't want to be saved. Adults. So that's why I say those numbers are important, not just for teenagers, but for adults. And the other thing, like I said, I'm not going to read the passage again, but y'all can go and reread and re-listen to it. But the last thing it says is a family that chews together, which is eat. And it's recommended that you sit down and eat with your family several times a week. And it says a family that chews together is glued together. So that means you talk to your kids and y'all sit down and eat at the dinner table, or y'all out at a restaurant, you talk and you chip. The closer you get, the closer your bond get. So I say it like this, because some of y'all are like this with your kids. Closed fist, can't nothing get in it, can't nothing get out of it. So if both of y'all like this, y'all doing this. But if you open your hands and you do this, y'all loving on each other. So put them phones down, like Erykah Badu say. I bet I can make you put your phone down. You do it as well. And sit down and talk with your kids. There are several videos that are out here, content creators, where they feeding their kids. They fixing their kids dinner, or they going out and buy their kids dinner. They making sure their kids eat. Now, the only thing about that, they're not sitting down at the table with their kids eating. They're fixing their plates. No, you need to sit down and eat with them. Fix their plate is good, but sit down and eat with them. So anyway, I'm not going to take up any more of your time. My name is Classy Lady. Can you hit the like button for me? Consider subscribing to my page. Try to bring positive input, and I'm trying to do, and some of the stories are related where I can talk about it personally, where I know somebody, or it may be me. Today was kind of a heavy conversation, but it was real. It was real. And I prayed for that. I prayed for that team. I prayed out loud. I prayed out loud because I wanted God to hear me out loud and silent. And I feel good about it. I really do. So talk to your teens, talk to your children, because you never know what be on their mind and what they think about. They watch TV and see all kind of stuff, and you just never know. These kids out here cursing like sailors. I mean, cussing like sailors. And where are they getting it from? They either getting it from you, they getting it from TV, or they getting it from their older brother and sister. So y'all need to be careful what you say around these kids, because that's the first thing these kids pick up. They can dance, they cannot dance any grown person, and they can cuss in it like any grown person. So I'm gonna get off of here, and I will see y'all later. I may do something tomorrow, but if you live in the state of Texas, it is voting time. You need to get out there and vote. This is the preliminaries. You vote now to narrow the margin down for the seats that are in the White House. So, and then on November 3rd is the election. We need to flip them votes. We need to flip them seats. We need to flip them seats. We need more Democrats in there. We can stop this doggone government shutdown, but we need more Democrats in there to go against the president that's making all these executive decisions and making all these crazy decisions, and Congress and stuff just letting it happen. You know why they letting it happen? Because there's more Republicans in there. They pockets are being fat, and our pockets are being empty. So it's time to flip them seats. It's time to flip them seats. So if it's primaries in your state, y'all need to get out there and vote. It's early voting. I know in Texas, I'm getting my behind up tomorrow, and I am going to vote. And I'm getting ready to post it on my Facebook page to encourage people, because we need to flip them seats. We really do. I don't care who you voted for or whatever, but I do know in November them seats need to flip. Take it or leave it. I'm Classy Lady. I'll talk with y'all later.